Happy Tuesday, y'all. I'm super, super excited for this guest today because she is here to spill the TikTok tea. In her words, in my words, we're all about that. And I love that she is really harnessing the power of VIP days because if you think about it, like TikToks and Reels and Shorts, like it's all about like as much value in less time, which is exactly what a VIP day is. So I feel very aligned and whatnot. So again, if this is your first time here, I'm Jordan Gill, head honcho of System Save Me and head coach of the Done Day program. And I'm here to spread the gospel of VIP days. And one of my favorite ways to do that is by showcasing folks inside of our Done in Day community, graduates, current students of our Done in Day program. And again, today we are going to be talking all about TikTok. Really, I'm sure she'll touch on like Reels and Shorts a little bit, but we're talking primarily TikTok. I even got some TikTok tea before we started, which is such a joy and will be my weekend project, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, it's again an area that I think a lot of people are starting to take more seriously, which I think is a good thing because I even didn't take this kind of short wave very seriously for a while. If you go back to my first like Reels and TikToks and things, it's not cute, y'all, but it's there for the archives. So with that being said, that's why I'm bringing the expert on, Miss Sarah Weiss. Coming on up. Hello, hello. So excited that you're here. So tell the good people of the internet a little bit about you and your business.
Yes, so I am Sarah Weiss, or On Brand by Sarah on the social media streets, and I especially help brands and business owners get super visible on short form video, especially TikTok, so they can meet their business goals. And yeah, I created a VIP day called Real Talk. Was such a good pun, like I couldn't not use it for my VIP day. It's Real Talk. I created my Real Talk VIP day where we get a month's worth of videos done in a day. So at the end of your VIP day, you leave with content for the month.
It's so good. And it's so like simple. It's like everybody gets it. It's like positioning heaven and whatnot. And I love that you put real talk together in like how you spell Instagram reels and talk.
Yes.
So before we get into like VIP days specifically, what brought you to want to be like an expert in short form video? Like how did that how did that come about?
In my previous career, I was a speech pathologist, and I'm still a speech pathologist. I will always keep my license, but going to my speech commutes, listening to podcasts, and I got really intrigued by things of social media management. And then once I started being a social media manager for brands and business owners, I really, really loved short form video. And so I niched down or more of my expertise, not just like full video, because I saw that that's where all the conversions were happening. I saw that that's where the brand was just like more humanized, and I completely fell in love with it.
I agree. It is more humanized, which is interesting because if you think about like social media before TikTok, it was like all about the polish. Like you need to have a curated feed. Your YouTube videos need to be on fancy cameras with like epic lighting and all the things. And so for then like TikTok to come around and see like the spike of growth and interest is so interesting to me because it's like, well, what was that like phase or season of social media that was like so polished and like very glossy is like the term that's coming up to me.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the humanness. I appreciate the realness. Again, I'm gonna show up in my reels with a ponytail or bun of some sort, and most likely a t-shirt and my joggers I wear every day and my beanbag, and we just gonna like rock out. And what I think that does is it really it allows you to connect with people easier, to be honest, because you're not having to like put up this, and not that it's a front, because I love fancy cameras too, but it 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 I don't know, it feels more warm, it feels more inviting, it feels more like there isn't something between you, even though it's social media, right? Still, and the parasocial relationship people have is really interesting, but yeah, I like that you saw that kind of humanness and were like, that's the lane I want to go in, and whatnot. So yeah, and obviously with all the platforms, short form video isn't going anywhere.
No,
So newsflash,
not
if
going
you
anywhere.
haven't been have been living in Iraq. It's part of the landscape. Like you can't, I don't want to say you can't because I don't like to make really definitive statements. However, it's going to be much more difficult
Mm-hmm.
for you to get the same results or even better results than you did before if you're not using short form video. So yeah, this is gonna be a good interview for you guys. And Sarah does a really great job. I follow her. I go on TikTok for like personal things more than business, but I do follow Sarah on Instagram, and thankfully the algorithm feeds me her stories and her reels and all the things. So that makes me
Yes.
super happy. But she's just such a wealth of knowledge, and we'll share all of her social medias and things, so you guys can follow her too. But talk to us about before you were doing VIP days. How were you serving clients? So you were doing speech pathology. Realized social media is the jam. What was like your first initial types of services and how you were working with clients before VIP days?
Yeah, so I was doing, I'm thinking back to like my very first client. I was doing, will not touch Facebook, at least right now. I was doing Instagram and Facebook management. When I started, it was still like a lot of static posts, which are just your still pictures. And I was doing like all the things. All the things. Anything that they were like, can you do XYZ? I'm like, absolutely, I can. Even though I had no idea what it was, I just did it because I needed the money. Like, I needed to do it. But then I realized, which is probably relate, when you really specify or niche down, I know people don't like that word, but when you niche down to either a specific person, like it completely changes the trajectory. And so I went from doing all the things to something really, really specific.
Yeah, I love specificity, and I know it freaks people out, but I actually have focused so much on niching, whatever, so much that like if my offer feels too broad, it like makes me uncomfortable. Like I'm like the opposite of most people, because I've seen the power of how it works, and again, there's a lot of people who are broad with social media, and so the fact that you have specified into your area of expertise, it's actually number one probably going to bring you more clients that you're going to enjoy because it's in the area that you enjoy and what you like live, breathe, eat, sleep, versus having to like now all of a sudden keep up with Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or whatever else is out there. It's like, nah, like the short form video can go to different platforms, but I think that especially now that businesses understand that how powerful social media is, like it's extremely important to have that niche and that specificity so you can attract the right ones, right? Because you don't want just anybody as a client. That's like not the goal.
No.
So with that, then as you niche down, uh, how did you then get familiar with VIP days? Because you did have VIP days before you came into the program. So how did you get familiar with VIP days? Why were you intrigued by working in like a 1 day format? And what kind of like inspired that?
So I had heard about VIP days just like through the service provider. But then cast, this is so absolutely random, and I don't even know if this is correct, but I want to say it was Brandy Mal's podcast,
Oh,
um,
yep, I was on hers.
where you were talking about, and I just like Jordan Gill podcast listening spree because I was like, okay, wait, now I like really need to know the tea about this because like I've seen it on people's sales pages, websites, and all that stuff, but I'm like, okay, like I can totally do a day with short form video about this. So then I just like went down the rabbit hole of VIP days and I'm like,
Yeah, I hear you. I think that was there any like hesitation? Like, did the term VIP day turn you off or make it feel like, oh, I need to have more years in business, or I need to like, was there any sort of resistance to VIP days, or were you like instantly like, this is what I need to be doing?
I'm gonna be honest, I think because I was so new and I didn't know that people do like launches and sales pages. I could just totally fling my offer out there and see where it lands. I almost was like blissfully unaware and just did it.
Which is great. Like, I feel like some of my naivete has actually been very beneficial for me as well. Like, just like not taking into consideration like what the typical or norm is. I'm just like, whatever. Like, that's what I want to do. So I love that you just kind of like moved into it and knew it that it was something that you needed to focus on, and you did it. So tell us about your first VIP day and whatnot. What was it like? What was it about? Like, who were you serving? What was the result? And then we'll kind of talk about how it evolved and joining done in a day and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so this lesson in it for me help you guys as well. So for my first VIP day, I'm like, this is my ideal client and this is who is going to be the perfect fit. It was just the first person that jumped on the day and I was like, yes, let's do the thing. And it ended like in a brick and mortar therapy practice and it for them. And if I actually sat down and like thought about it beforehand, I would have realized that. Um, but we got the day done and they were with a month's worth of video content, but it made me sit back and realize the world does not crumble if the VIP day doesn't go perfectly because a lot of times it won't and you just have to adapt. Um, and two, okay for everybody not to be, everybody doesn't have to be the best fit for you. And that's perfectly okay. And I didn't realize that at first because I just wanted someone to jump on the day. Uh, but they still got the transformation of not only like the deliverables of the month of being more comfortable like telling their story on camera, which is like gonna super improve their marketing, and knowing like what their social media strategy even is, which they had absolutely nothing, not only the deliverables but like really nice transformative action for their business.
Nice. And so then with that lesson learned of like, okay, not everyone is my ideal person. It's not everyone can be on social media, but that also doesn't mean that everyone is your ideal client. And with that, so then from that, then who did you kind of determine was your target client? If I don't know if you still do brick and mortars, but brick and mortars, or people who haven't really done social media, like talk to us about how your ideal client has evolved to now who is it that you are serving?
Yeah, so now I mostly serve online service providers, but I started working with like really works for them too. So I'm realizing that the VIP day, because it's so intense during that day, you either have to be willing to like block off your whole day, or you need to or somewhere remote where you can really dedicate the time, not only the like logistics of the day, and I don't know if anybody else realizes this or notices this, but the mindset, like the money mindset of compared to like brick and mortar business owners is business owners can totally understand like this is an investment and I am totally getting my money's worth, whereas I feel like brick and mortar people that I've talked to are like that is absolutely insane. uh so that pivoted to people that are in the online space because not only do they need it, but they know the value of the day.
That's so true. I think that, yeah, offline and online business is like, it's night and day. And even sometimes I was in a room back in May
Mm-hmm.
and it was with a lot of offline business owners. And it was just really different for me. It was just like,
Yeah.
huh, like, I kind of live in a bubble, right? I've had my business for 6.5 years, but then like I was in someone else's online business for 2 years. And so majority of my career, I'm 32, literally majority of my career, I've been in like the online business space. And so I feel like I have this very interesting, like morphed view. And so then when I like go to like offline things, I'm like, that's interesting. Like y'all have a different vibe or different way, and it's not bad or wrong, but just different.
100%, 100%. And it like all goes back to just like the mindset of value for you and your business and things like that. People in the online space just valuing it more.
Yeah, oh totally. Which semi makes sense because they're already online, social media is online, like it's like a very natural conversation, right? Offline people are like foot traffic and billboards, and it's like that's a whole
Mm-hmm.
nother situation over there.
Yes,
So I know nothing about
100%.
that. Yeah. So then obviously you came into our world and are a Dine Day graduate. So what had you then seeking support around your VIP day? And what was it? Only one client? Was it a few clients and you needed help with the structure or the selling? Like what kind of drew you into our world?
Yeah, so I was at the Verge conference just hearing like it wasn't, it was last year's virtual conference, so 2021. There were a lot of students speaking and just like hearing the competency in their stories and like what they were able to achieve um with like a was very inspiring, so amazing job with that. But then I really like I knew I wanted to join the program before I joined the virtual because I had no back end of my business at all. I knew that you were a systems person and that you could probably help me out with that, which you did. And the other thing that I really needed help with was the mindset piece because if you think from a clinical speech therapy background, and I had no kind of like guide for like what is a premium service? So, like I had no idea. That was totally foreign to me. And so I really needed help with like the coaching of my mindset, and I definitely got both of those things.
Yeah. Healthy doses. Yeah, I think too. Yeah, I mean, our virtual
Yes.
conferences are just my favorite thing ever in the whole entire world. And at the same time, we really can only do two a year, just for the sheer like work it is involved. People are like, "Why don't you do like one a quarter or whatever?" I'm like, guys, no, like that's a whole.
Oh my
I
gosh.
would never sleep. Um, but I think that it
No.
is helpful to see people, especially who are more unique doing VIP days, because then it helps you realize, like, oh, like if they're able to do it and they're in like wedding planning or like doula stuff or like whatever, like I should be able to do it. Like it's like my hurdle to a VIP day is much smaller than somebody who's like in years and years and years old industry, like decades, centuries year old industries. It's they have a little bit bigger hurdles, but I love that, and I think too, um, it's been it's been really awesome to see specifically social media folks get on the VIP day bandwagon, because there is some nature of social media where it's like, well, I can't get fast results. Like, I've talked to people in the DMs and I see it, I hear it all the time in a lot of industries, but specifically social media folks that are just like, because the posting of the content or because the like website clicks and things like that aren't happening on the VIP day, then it's hard to translate value or transformation because that stuff isn't happening on the day of. Did you have that same mindset around that? And if not, or if so, like what would you suggest for maybe other people who are in social media and other realms that are interested in VIP days, but have a hang up around um, what the transformation could be for a social media VIP day?
Yeah, I know it's really not great tools, but because short form video and TikTok in general is so scary for some people, or they know the value of it, but they just have no time for it. It was very attractive for people to hear that, like, hey, you're going to leave. And then what they get from that, which I'm able to relay later, is like, look at the up level of your marketing. Look at the like authenticity and connection that you're able to have with your audience. Look at the story and on camera. Like, so I think the deliverables, if I'm being honest, draw people in, but the other information are things that you can't even like really, talk about until they go through the day. And I think that just, hearing from other people that went through the day through like testimonials, and things like that are great, but the deliverables got them in the door, and then everything else was just like so much better because it caused such an up level for their business.
And I think too, there's a lot of there's a lot of power in short form video that folks are not like. It's like, phew. Like for example, we're testing a lot of different messaging hooks. Like we
Mm.
are testing, okay, like this hook did really well, so maybe we need to use it as a email subject line, or this reel in general did really well on a conversion standpoint. I don't know if I told you this or not. I don't remember. Probably not my life. But
I'm
when well, it's happening during VC season, so I was like, I don't know who I talked to, but um the we tested specifically like a reel that was a private podcast. It was like for online business managers. It was so basic. I just like put my AirPods on and I was walking my dog and I filmed myself literally walking with AirPods in. That's the whole video of the reel. and it was like a cute little trending song in the background. And then the verbiage on it was like, are you an OBM who's interested in a VIP day? Like, um, download this free private podcast to learn more. And what was interesting is we did not put the link anywhere else. Like there was no email about it. It wasn't even a link in a bio. It wasn't like there was no other way for people to even see this link or know this link existed except from this reel. So like I
Wow.
know that it was the reels juice. And so we had in the first like 2 days of the reel, we had like 100 people hit the page and 96 converted. So let me just like
Yes.
96% of people who hit the page ended up signing up for that private podcast from a reel. And, like, could you have tested that in other ways? Sure, right? But to see the speed of which and then to see a 96% opt-in rate was banana pants. And that's then when my Facebook ads account got shut down, but that's a whole nother story. But like because I was like, we need to put this on ads like now.
Yeah.
But it's like, how powerful is that for me to like micro test a page and see how reels really do bring and convert people for us, leads. And again, you can do that in other ways, but I just think that there's things missing from a lot of people's short form video that can help them in other areas of business. Like we've totally taken reels and created ads from them that 100% have brought us leads. Like my shower reel, that's brought us over 1,000 leads on Facebook ads, like alone. And when I first posted it, we got like
Wow.
150 lead signups in the first 24 hours. And again, we use like short, what do I call short links? Like branded links, whatever.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we would put
Yep.
them on the video or put them in the captions, and we won't put them anywhere else. So again, we're able to track like, oh, we know these roadmap people came from this specific reel because we track that stuff. It's powerful. Like it's a conversion like thing. Like it's not just views and whatnot. So we are talking about VIP days, but I also want to give you the floor a little bit about just like truly the power of short form video and how you can use it in ways that you may not think you could use it, and what ways that you've seen your clients really get creative with it and see results in whatever format that comes in.
Yeah. So really great question. And so I'm going to talk mostly about TikTok because not a lot of people do. Sorry, that was my one spicy moment. Jordan does an awesome job about being authentic on Instagram. She'll show up in a bun, no makeup. On TikTok, that's where most people are showing up like that, right? And there's such power to that because I know I said it a million times, but it humanizes you, right? It humanizes you. People are very smart. People are very around the block in the online world. They don't want to see a pretty Canva graphic that's advertising like sign up for blah blah blah. It's 20% off. Like they don't want to see that. They want to hear you tell a story. They want to know about your love of dogs and Broadway show tunes. They want to know about your love, hear the story, and they want to hear that back into business. A freaking men, that's amazing. But there's so much power in that you cannot get. I still cannot. And I've seen it with myself and my clients that like once we started going all in on short form video, and that's not saying that like you totally have to do away with every graphic and every still picture you have, but you put your focus in. The results are wild. And you just have to, because this is really important to me, you have like a genuinely engaged audience that like likes you, hear from you, your DMs and like that when it's time to, potentially make a buying decision or, you are top of mind for them. And that is so important.
Totally. Like definitely the engagement has gone up. It's been, and yeah, like you said, like life stuff, it's like, okay, like the other day I don't know, I was like doing an office tour and I don't know, like I just was showing my office and all of a sudden everybody and their mom were like, what is this board situation that you have in your office? And it's funny because I've had it in my office for like, I don't know, 5 months or something. So the shininess has worn off. It's like it's just in my office. And it just like, first of all, I should have had my affiliate links ready. So that was on me. Uh,
Yes.
I was not ready. And it totally took off. And so, now my partnerships manager is going to work on some partnerships with Vibe Board, just because of how well it did go, right? And so like it's like you
Yes.
don't know what opportunities are even like around you for different collaborations or whatever the case is if you aren't showcasing like little bits of your life,
Hmm.
and whatnot. So I appreciate you showcasing and sharing why short form video is super powerful and really what it can provide for your business. And also it's fun. Like
Yes.
I don't like you don't have to take it seriously. Like, and I really appreciate that. Because it's just business is serious. Business can be hard.
Yes.
It's like, oh my gosh, like all the conversations I have to have that are hard or difficult or like whatever. It's like, oh, but like now I just get to go like find a funny trend and like be ridiculous online. It's like, and then oh my gosh, I had a mom when I was picking up Colin from school who was like, oh my gosh, your reels are so funny, and I was like, oh yeah, I forget that like real people are watching these.
I know.
Um,
Oh my gosh. As much as I show up on video, I still slightly cringe when someone calls me out in public online space. You didn't see that. Don't look.
Okay, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one. Yeah, because I'm
Yes.
just like, wait, what? Like, um,
Yeah.
but anywho, so with that being said, I would love for you to kind of share one big takeaway or one lesson or tip that you would want to share with people who maybe are intrigued by VIP days, but aren't sure if they should even give it a try. Like they're kind of in the like very, very beginning stages of like, it's either a unicorn to me or like, transformation can't be done in a day or whatever their hang up is. I would love for you to share like a lesson tip, something that or question prompt, that you would share to kind of let them know like, should I give it a try or not?
Yes. So my main takeaway and my try and put it out there. I see so many people, like even my like hem and haw about like, okay, I need to have everything done and my framework and this, that, and the other. Like I put my VIP day out into the world like before I even knew I was joining the program. And guess what? You don't need to be married to everything because oh my gosh, I would have never been able to like learn or implement or change if I didn't just do.
Yeah.
So you have to just do it is because I'm a perfectionist as well. Like, I want to make sure I have all of my ducks in a row, but for VIP days especially because everything is happening in a day and you're going to be working with people with different personalities and try it.
Yes. Amen to that.
So,
I know it. Yeah, because you noodling about it in your lair is not going to be helpful to you. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, no one's seeing it, no one's being impacted. So just get it out there. So how can folks go and connect with you and share all the places, and whether they want to message you and say hi, or they just want to learn more from you, where are the best places?
Yeah, so the places that I'm most active on are at On Brand by Sarah on both of those, or you can go to my
Yay! Awesome sauce. Yeah, we'll put those in the comments too, and whatnot, so that you guys can just click and make it easy. But thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing all the tea here about your VIP
website.
day, about short form video, and whatnot. I think it's going to be really powerful and help move people to give not only VIP days a try, but also short form video, and whatnot. So I'm super excited to see more of y'all out there in the internet sphere joining us, being absolutely ridiculous on the internet and loving every second of it. So,
Yes.
so thank you so much, Sarah. Really appreciate it.